Welcome back to Sissy's Kitchen. You guys, you're back with Patrice. I'm here today to fix my husband some peanut butter cookies. So come along with me, you guys. I'm also going to decide to talk to you guys and let y'all know a little bit about me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my video with everyone. Um, Again, my name is Patrice. I'm from New York. Just starting YouTube about maybe a week ago. I've been watching YouTube for a while as far as like mukbanging and stuff. One of the people who influenced me was D Love's Life. I watched her in the beginning, and I don't know. I just felt like it was something I knew I could possibly do. But I knew it takes a lot of hard work. So this is why I'm just now starting or whatnot. Today, you guys, I have some all natural peanut butter and well, both. They're just different brands. One is chunky and one is creamy. So we're gonna use that. Um, I'll get back to talking to you guys about me in a minute. So let's start this. We're going to use 1 cup of all natural peanut butter. For anybody that's like who has diabetes, the doctor said this is a really good peanut butter to use, especially because it has the oil that like sits at the top. Okay, let me get some out of that one, and then Mama is gonna get this little bit in here. You guys can make him like the grilled peanut butter sandwiches. Who used to make that back in the day? My cousin used to I used to love it. Peanut butter and jelly. She used to put the toaster bread in the toaster oven. Throw that peanut butter, you know, it start getting melty. It tastes so good with some milk. I ain't make one of those in a long time. So anyways, I lost my mom at the age of 4. We barely have any recollection of the deaths. Any recollection of the death. Um, my father's still living, so that's a blessing. When my mom passed, my aunt, who's my dad's sister, she became my guardian. Although my father was here or whatnot, still able to take care of me, but um, at that time, you know how things are. He wasn't able to do certain things that he needed to, so my aunt took me in. She was my guardian. My dad was still around. I would see him often or whatnot. As the years went on, because of that or whatnot, on my well, this is the whole thing. How I lost my mom was from her having like it was childbirth. She was giving birth to my youngest brother. His name is Ernest, and during the delivery, basically they were telling her like she wouldn't be able to have to where it was a decision that my dad had to make, either her, for her to keep on living, or for my brother. And my mom was persistent. She wanted my dad to have a baby boy. That's what happened. She had that baby boy from her dad, and we lost a mom. But I'm grateful to have my dad and have my younger brother. It was hard in the beginning with growing up and knowing that I did not, to be honest, know. I didn't know how to get through that. Could not understand how, if you had that decision, why just go with that and not hope that throughout the years maybe, because nowadays there's so much technology and different ways of having babies these days. So that was my thing. But as I got older, you start maturing, you start realizing a lot of things or whatnot. And I no longer was trying to understand what I felt like I was trying to understand. More so now is where I'm left at, um, where I'm 36 now, and when I had to go and live with my aunt, my two brothers, my oldest brother that was living with me, and then the baby brother that my mom was giving birth to, they had to go and live with my aunt. My aunt that's my mom's sister on her side. And you know, as a child only being 4, I didn't understand it until I got older and I heard of not not having my brothers and sisters. Well, not sisters, but my brothers was a lot, became a lot because I knew of them, but at this time I still haven't like placed eyes on them. It took a long time before I even had contact with um, my brothers because I don't know. My aunt claims she lost my aunt's number and she wasn't able. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I added, like I told you, I added 1 cup of sugar. So what I did was, I did half and half. I did half of granulated sugar and half of the brown sugar. 1 egg, and I also have to get some vanilla extract. So excuse me. With the vanilla extract, you guys, it's just 1 teaspoon. So I'm gonna pour it in the cap of the container. So I did that, and like I said, in 1 egg. So it's you got 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 egg, and you mix it all together. But as I was stating, when these things happen, like I had no contact with my brothers. I didn't. All I knew was that they lived in Mississippi. You know, until I got to the age of 15, I finally was able to go and visit them. My mom's brother, he lived out in California. Also, my oldest brother, he lived out in California with his wife at the time. So it was like perfect for us to go and visit. And that's what we went and we did. We visited them. I got to see them. I also got to meet my granddad, which was my mom's dad, for the first time and the only time. I was supposed to also meet my mom's mother, and that would have been my only time to have gotten to meet her because of the trip being a certain length of time and me needing to get back to school and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to visit her, and unfortunately, a few years later, she wound up passing, so I never got to know her. With all this being said, throughout the years, um, when a death happened and stuff like that, a lot of times what happens is they go and they lock up the apartment so fast. So my dad was telling me that a lot of things that were in the apartment he wasn't able to get, like for instance, any like pictures and oh, I'm sorry, and this is how it's gonna come. You're gonna see it look like this. It should foam up and ball up like this so that you can make small circles with your spoon, like a tablespoon, and put them on your cookie sheet, cookie tray. If you have a cookie tray, butter it. If you have parchment, just throw it down on the parchment and put it in the oven for at 375. Yeah, at 375 for like 15 minutes. Or to your liking, you might want it softer, you might want it harder. So you guys decide. But again, back to what I was saying. When a death happens, sometimes it's really hard to get like go back in the apartment and get certain items or documents that's important to you because so much is going on, and before you know it, the time is it have ran out where you're not able to accumulate those things. So that's what happened in our situation. So I don't, as a child, like as far as like being a baby, I don't have any of those photos. Like when my mom passed, I'm still to this day trying to figure out like where she even buried, if they buried her, if they cremated her. I don't have any of this information, and this is something I've been going through for a long while. This didn't just start. Like I remember being a young girl and being so angry because there was so many questions and so many things I wanted to know, and I felt like nobody was giving me an answer. Now I'm getting older. I decided maybe like 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And no, and it wasn't even 2 months ago that I just decided. No, I've been back and forth calling funeral home like for years, off and on, to this funeral home that they said that she was buried at, to try and get the information. Even when we've had family that passed away, and we buried them at the same funeral home that my mom was supposed to be buried at. I also took the time to go inside the place, speak to the people personally, give them my information to try and see if they could find her. Although it's been so many years, they don't have it in the computers, but they say they have it in the basement in the files. So at one point, nobody wasn't doing the work to go and look for the information because it's no longer on the computer and it's in the files, and you know, it's so far back you gotta go through a lot. So it never happened for me until literally 2 or 3 months ago. I called. No, we had a family funeral. I spoke to someone. They gave me a number to call her directly. She told me make sure I give her all the information that I knew. I gave that to her. She looked for her. My mom wasn't at that funeral home. They told me another funeral home was like also affiliated with them, where that at the time when they weren't able to take certain people, this this other funeral home named Florence would take their people. So they told me to call them. I took my time. I called the gentleman. He said to me, um, "I'm on vacation right now, but what is it that you want?" So I explained to him my situation, and I was, being as nice as I could. I told him, I've been having a run around for years. I'm just really hoping that some way, somehow, he'll be able to help me. That basically, I heard through the other funeral home, you guys are also affiliated, and if there was any way that he'll be able to assist me. So he asked me in what year. I told him the year right away. You on vacation. How you already telling me you know the person ain't down in your files in your basement or whatnot? But you on vacation, not where you can go and look. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I know for a fact I don't have nobody all the way back in no 89 or whatnot. I'm like, you know what? The devil is a liar. I was like, okay, sir, that's fine. My next instance, I was like, all right, Chase, the only next thing you can do is possibly because I thought about where I was born. So I said, let's call a hospital. I said, I remember the hospital used to be able to give you some of that information. So I call, I speak to someone. My luck's still not good. They like, no, we don't do it at the hospital anymore. If anything, you have to call the um, the health department or apply for a death certificate online. So, true indeed, that's exactly what I went and I did. I went, I said, you know what? Let me go get this money order and I'm gonna send this off so I can have some peace. Like, for a long time, I've been wondering if there's even a headstone for her. Nobody knows if there's a headstone. Nobody knows no information, and it's just sad that all these years it's just going by and going past, and I still can't get the answers that I need. So here we come. Excuse me, guys. Let me get the parchment paper. So I go and I go and I fill out the application, send it back. I'm like, what is happening? But around this time, the pandemic was pretty heavy. And it wasn't 2 or 3 months ago. It probably was longer than that because the summer was here. It was probably close to the ending of the summer though. Here it is. I I remember me saying like, I mean, this seems like this is taking a while. Like, what's going on? Why nobody haven't been in contact with me yet? So I think I called 311, if I'm not mistaken, and I got the number. And I believe I spoke to someone. I'm not too sure exactly what happened. Oh yeah, I spoke to someone and they told me they couldn't give me the exact information that I needed. Here we go. Here it is. Look at God. I think a week or two later of me trying to figure out like what's the status or, how come I haven't heard anything just yet. Especially because now I got my two brothers on my back about me finding out the information because I also let them know like, I decided to go and look into the information about mommy for her obituary. So then my oldest brother like, all right, sis, just keep me in, keep in contact with me and let me know what's going on. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get the paper. The lady called to verify some information, the information that she had on the paper. She was saying something wasn't clear or whatnot. So I speak to her and give her all the information that was that. I get the paper back in the mail. Everything come back 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm frustrated. I'm crying. I'm like, why? Why me? Why do I have, like, why is it that I have to go through this right now? So I'm telling my brothers or whatnot. They're telling me this, they telling me that, they asking me all these questions. And I'm getting more frustrated. I'm already crying and going through why I'm frustrated due to the fact of, all right, if y'all know so much, the same way I took my little chickadee change, y'all could get up and go. It's y'all mom too. Y'all want it done just as well as me. Granted, I went and I did it. I did it. I told y'all that it came back the way it came back. Somebody else step up. Like, bro, you're the older brother. How is it that I'm so interested in this information and it seems like you guys are not that they aren't, but not so pressed about it until now that I'm saying I want to find out this information. So for me, you know, I don't know. I a little bit was just in my feelings like, don't keep harassing me and want to rush me about this stuff. Y'all can get on the ball and figure it out too. Y'all can go. Y'all have mommy's information. Here it is again. Come to find out, my youngest brother told my aunt, my mom's sister, that I'm trying to look into this stuff and stuff like that. So he's now, and meanwhile, throughout 36 years, I barely remember one day my aunt picking, and not to bash her or whatnot, but I barely remember her picking up that phone and calling me and saying anything to me about just anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm your sister's child. Like, do you hate me because of my dad? Y'all feel away with my dad? That's what I wonder with the a little something. And I don't want to say hate, but you know, I really just feel like my aunt don't, I don't know, care for me. And it is what it is. It don't make me feel no sort of way. But here and there, he kept saying like, after I called her because her birthday had came up a few months back too. For her birthday, she felt like, you know, with her seeing me, I had a sadness in my eyes, and she wondered if I'm mad or feel a way that my my two brothers got to go with her while I stayed here. And like I told my youngest brother that day on that phone, and like I'm saying right here to you guys right now, I ain't feel no way. I, not with her, I can't, and not about the fact of them being with her and me being back here. No, I'm grateful I got to stay with my dad. I got to be with my dad, you know, and I have family back here that loves me very much. And I'm grateful for the person I turned out to be, regardless of the, you know, the tough times, the hard times, my arm being strict and all of that. That don't have nothing to do with nothing, because for the simple fact, my when that decision happened, I feel like it it went the way it was supposed to go, straight like that. So I'm not mad with her, anyone, for what? Whatever had to happen happened. Mommy passed, and that was the result of it. You know what I mean? So I gave her that call or whatnot, and I haven't kind of called since. I know I need to pick up the phone and call her real soon, especially as because it's the holidays. And when I get a chance, I'm gonna call her. But I'm not trying to make something out of nothing when I know, you know. Just try to be as respectful as possible, love her, and keep her pushing. But I don't want her to think I'm mad with her. Behind that, like I said, if anything, I'm more mad that the fact of throughout all these years, I ain't hear from you. If I'm mad about anything, pick up that phone and call me and act like you know you got a niece in New York, you know? So I'm dealing with that. I'm still I'm still trying to, oh guys, this is how they look so far. Now I'm taking the fork and I'm pinching it different ways. Like making crisscross basically. I'll show you guys. still when I have the chance, I'm going to redo everything, because what happened also, and that's another thing, is like once I decided that I wanted to look for my mom's um, obituary so I can get to her gravesite, all these things started coming out. Oh, how my granddad felt the way about my dad, this, that, and the third. But the important thing, I'm saying to myself, y'all bringing all this stuff up. Like, give me the information. That's all I care about. Give me the information. But here it is, my youngest brother wound up telling me that the name that's on my obituary basically isn't the name my mom was going by when my mom passed. So now I have to do the search all over using the information that's on my youngest brother's obituary. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll find some. I'll find the information that I need, so I can, have some peace. Cause all I want to do is be able to, if she don't have a headstone, put a headstone. Be able to go and visit her grave and put some flowers down, as every now and again or whatnot. Cause that's for a long time. That really have bothered me. But other than that, me and my two brothers, we're great. I speak to them often. Me and my youngest brother, that's my heart. That's my boy. I love him to death. But I don't know, you guys. Comment below. Let me know how you feel about this conversation and what you feel about it. And I wanted to show you guys how the cookies look. I told you I just took the fork, the regular fork, and I just mashed it down. One this way, as you see it, and then this way. And that's all. Put it in the oven. And I guess I'll be back to talk to you guys soon. I'll show you the finished product once I pull them out the oven. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my video with everyone. I love you guys. Talk to you soon.